Hi, this is a video to help you with your new Seint purchase. Thank you so much for ordering through me. I am so excited for you to try this makeup. It is life-changing. Okay, so first and foremost, you'll want to set up your tin the way that you want to. I have my highlights and all my creams in my first layer of my tin. Some people have smaller tins. I try to keep my powders in the second tin because if they flake, you don't want to mess up any of your cream makeup. Next, you will want to make sure that you have something to smooth out your makeup with. Sometimes I apply my makeup with my finger to blot it and get it on the skin, but then to brush it out, it's really good to have a brush or a beauty blender or something like that. Seint has really good beauty blenders and they have double-sided brushes. My two favorites are the Buff brush, which is double-ended and it's for heavy, heavy coverage. And then this is the blush and bronzer brush, and I like this one for smoothing everything out. This one is actually for a lighter coverage, so I'm kind of using a mix of both. Another really good one is the 3D brush, and that's kind of middle of the road, medium coverage. Okay, so let's put on some makeup. First, what we're going to do is contour. Contour is the map of your face, and it helps you to apply the areas, apply the makeup in the correct areas. So first I'm going to be using the small end of my buff brush. This is as simple as dipping in your finger and smearing it where you want it. But the lighter, the better. Start lighter and then add more as you need it, because with cream makeups, if you put on too much, it will show texture, okay? So I'm going to just take and kind of dab in my contour, and then I'm going to find my cheekbone and kind of apply right on top of the hard, some people like the fleshy part. I prefer like right underneath the hard part. And I'm just going to kind of make a line that's about an inch in, okay? And I'm going to do that on both sides. And eventually I will work to smear this out, okay? So I'm literally tapping my brush 1 or 2 times and dragging it down to about the outside of my eye. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the contour to my forehead. So some people like to go around the outside. I like to kind of picture like a triangle on top of my face, and I try to apply through there. And I'm just going to take it, barely tapping in the makeup, and just apply it towards my hairline. And I will go back through and blend this out. Okay, so the reason why we put on contour, I never contoured before Seint, but the reason that you wear contour is so that you draw attention to the center of your face. You can kind of see how this has brought an illusion to the center of my face and kind of created like this light filter on my face. So I'm just kind of dragging it through, and as I decide if I need more, I will add more, okay? Next, I always like to chisel the chin because from the side, sometimes there's a double chin. It's just nice to have a little bit of shadow for the chin. So what I do is I find my jaw kind of where it comes up by my ear, and I start my line there. So I kind of take it and then I follow it down my jawline like this. And I will do the exact same thing with the other side. And we're kind of creating and enhancing a shadow that really is already there, but this does help just kind of chisel things out. Then what I like to do as well is kind of extend that line down my neck a little bit, and I'll go through and blend it out, but it kind of defines your, defines some shadows, okay? You can also contour your nose. So the nice thing about the Buff brush is that it is pointed on the ends. You can kind of see. So I just take that and dip the point right into the cream makeup, and then I'm going to run my contour up the sides of my nose, leaving a little tiny sliver down the center. And again, this just is you're adding in darkness to your face in order to bring out the light, which feels weird. Okay, some people also like to contour under their lip just to give themselves a little bit fuller of a lip. I don't always do that. Okay, next, you have two highlight colors, two colors that look like skin. Okay, the lighter one is the ones for the center of your face. So mine happens to be candlelit. Yours might be linen or aura or something like that. And your lighter ones are gonna go kind of under your eyes, on your nose, up the middle of your, what is this, like your forehead, in between your eyebrows, and then your chin. And so the lighter colors run through and kind of make a T on your face. Sometimes it's called the T-zone. So I'm gonna take the fatter end of my buff brush, but you can use whatever you want. If you like, there's a detail brush, and this has a great end for contouring specific areas, and then a tiny end for applying in specific places. But I'm just gonna use my buff brush because it's what I'm used to. And I am tapping 1, 2, 3 in my makeup, and then I'm just gonna kind of place it in the rough area that I want it. You will do the same. So we're creating a 3D look. So 3D, having 3 colors, it will help us to create dimension and bring some depth to our face and have this like natural filter. It's kind of awesome. Okay, I'm not going clear up under my eyes because you have creases under your eyes. And again, cream makeup, the more it's in the creases, it like sets. So we're not gonna do that. The more you apply, the more it sets. So we're not gonna do that either. Okay, and I will go back in and blend this out like I said earlier. Okay, so I'm just kind of putting it where I want it. Kind of a rough go. Again, you can dip in your finger, but we're not swiping. We're not like pulling big amounts of makeup off. It's just like a tap, tap, tap. And then I'm letting it set on my face. Now I'm going to go into my second highlight color. This is your darker shade. This is the shade that is going to probably cover a majority of your face. And darker shades tend to hide the melasma, freckles, acne, scarring, things like that. The darker the shade, the better. So we're just going to dip this into the tins and just put roughly around my face. And I will go back through and blend it out. I'm putting this in areas where you could put blush. I like to go back in on top of my one layer and do that afterwards. So now it's time to blend. So for blending, I'm going to use the blush and bronzer brush. You totally can blend with this. It is for heavier coverage because the bristles are more packed. So if you're looking for heavier coverage, you can just simply dip it in your compact and then blend kind of as you go. And as you get used to this routine, that will help you, okay? So I started with my contour, did my highlight, and now I filled in the rest with my main highlight. So now in order to blend, I'm gonna kind of work backwards. I'm gonna go from lighter shades to darker shades to not muddy my colors. So I'm just going to kind of very lightly move the makeup to fill in the spaces, but I'm still keeping it in the spots that I applied it. So I'm not doing a lot of swiping. It's more stippling, maybe a little bit of swiping, but not a ton. Okay, and the more you can kind of pack it, the better. Okay, so the lighter colors were started in the center of my face. So I'm starting in the center of my face and kind of blending out. So you will do the same with your brushes, okay? Now I'll go to my main highlight. So mine's sandy, this kind of color that looks just a little bit darker than the rest. And I'm just gonna kind of blend around my contour lines, maybe carry it up onto my cheeks, the balls of my cheeks. The nice thing about creams too is that you can apply it all at once and then it's just one layer. It's not a heavy, you know, foundation all over, and then blush on top, and then bronzer on top, and then you can apply it all at one go. And the Seint is giving you 3D. It's bringing in shadows and kind of sculpting your face into this awesome natural looking filter. It's also great, the creams are, because it is a second skin. It literally melts into your skin. And when I say melts, seriously, like as the makeup sits on your face, it's heating up, the cream is, and then it's so easy to blend. Then you can set it later. Okay, so now I've kind of blended my main highlight, and as I'm looking, I kind of see I missed some spots here, so I could go back into my compact, dip my brush and just kind of apply where I need it, but I'm seriously just tapping my brush. I am not swiping or doing anything super heavy, because the heavier, the more texture you show. Okay, so now I have these weird, you can still see my contour lines, and I want to make sure that those are blended out. I just want to soften the lines. I'm keeping the contour in the same place, but I'm just gonna kind of move in circular motions to blur the line just a little bit. And I'll go down to my chin, my jawline, and do the same. Don't forget, if you did the lines down your neck, to get down your neck. Okay, and do the same on the other side. And then if you decide that you want more of a sculpt, you can go in and sculpt more. Or if you decide that you actually like a little bit harsher of lines, you like the dimension, don't blend quite as much. Okay, so I'm just kind of doing circular motions and blending it down, blurring the lines as I go. And then up here, I'm gonna kind of work to bring this makeup into my hairline so I don't have an obvious line of contour. And I'm kind of blending out that triangle that I've had formed, but not so much so that you can't tell where, you know, where the lighter color starts and the others begin, okay? Just keeping it in the same area. And then you can see, working from lighter to darker, I haven't muddied any of the colors. So now it's time for your blush. It might look like you need it, and really, I've only put on a light coverage. The blush lasts the longest for sure, the lip and cheeks do, but it is an essential part of your makeup routine, because you want to be able to put like the fleshiness back into your skin. So my color that I'm gonna use is Ruby, and it is really intimidating off the get-go, but I'm going to flip my brush to this end that is softer and the bristles aren't so tightly packed, to apply a lighter coverage. And I am going to dip, and you can see it on the brush. That was one tap. And then I'm going to kind of find the balls of my cheeks and apply it in the areas that I normally put blush. And I'll kind of make a swooping motion up so that I lift my face features up and kind of create this like natural facelift with my colors, okay? And that's it. You can go in, I have illuminator, I have bronzer, both of which I love. The illuminators apply a little bit of a glow, like a shimmer, so I can apply some of that to show you. And you can see right here on my finger, it's just kind of shiny, and you put this in areas where the sun catches. So I'm going to put it on my cheekbones. And then I have some people who like it just like down the center of their nose, on their Cupid's bow, just to catch the light. And then there's some people who like it up on their eyelids. You know what I forgot to do is blend out my contour on my nose. Not that you can super tell, but I just kind of keep it in that area so I don't have dark, harsh lines, okay? And that's it. Bronzer. I really like bronzer in the summer. In fact, I only use contour and bronzer in the summer. And bronzer goes just kind of where I had applied my blush. I'm using the Bella bronzer, but I know people who use Icon, I think, is the highlight color. It's a little bit warmer, a little bit browner than this. And I'm just going to kind of apply it in the same areas where I would get sun-kissed, you know, like early summer, the places that get tan the quickest is where I typically apply bronzer, and you don't need a lot, okay? So the great thing about creams is that you really can't mess it up. It all blends away if you don't like it, or you take it and you wipe it off, okay? So I hope this helps you with your very first application of the Seint makeup. If you are noticing some textures, or maybe you're noticing things are not sitting the way you want, there are some like troubleshooting things that I've included in your color match form. One of which says you should be moisturizing every day. One of which says if you might be applying too much makeup if you're noticing creasing throughout the day. It really doesn't take much at all, which is the nice thing about the brushes, is that you can tap once or twice, apply, tap once or twice, apply, and keep going, and that the brushes help apply the makeup in the way that they're intended. So thank you so much for purchasing Seint with me. I just love this makeup, and I love this journey that I'm on. It's been so fun, and it's been fun teaching people about makeup and making videos about makeup, and I really found a good hobby. So I hope you enjoy it as much as me. Please reach out if you have any questions. See you later.